When it comes to photographic composition, nothing can be more powerful than the use of lines. In this particular episode, we're going to see how valuable a leading line is in its ability to take the eye and lead it towards the main subject.
AdoramaTV presents You Keep Shooting with Bryan Peterson, where you'll learn unique and creative techniques that will elevate your photography skills. Here's your host, Bryan Peterson.
When it comes to landscape photography, one of the greatest things you can do to enhance your composition without fail is to use immediate foreground interest. I'm here at Peggys Cove and I'm about to show you how all of that unfolds in 3 easy steps. Hi, I'm Bryan Peterson and you're watching AdoramaTV. As I mentioned, I'm here on a cold, blustery, windy day at Peggys Cove in the month of October. And as you would expect, I'm leaving tomorrow. And the next day, we're going to be back up to 20 degrees Celsius, which is about 70 degrees. But today, we're about 7 degrees because I'm here. I'm guessing that's the reason why. Inclement weather seems to follow me these past few months, which is fine. We still have, nonetheless, a clear day, some white puffy clouds beyond that lighthouse. And the question remains, when I have my wide angle, it's a question I often get in my online classes as well as at AdoramaTV. When I shoot with my wide angle, everything looks small and distant. How do I overcome that? More often than not, my answer is always the same. You must use immediate foreground interest, which in turn lends both depth and perspective and brings a whole sense of scale to that wide angle landscape. But then the question becomes, what exposure works relative to the maximum depth of field? F22, you know that's my mantra. F22, 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 and I don't care what the naysayers say about the absence of sharpness, about the absence of contrast, about the absence of clarity. F22 is where it's at. That's just cut and dried. If you don't want to use F22, you don't want to listen to this video anymore, because it's all about storytelling, maximum depth of field. I've been doing it for years, as has many other shooters, including the likes of landscape photographer Ansel Adams. He was a member of the F64 Club. So there's my case, there's my argument. Now, onward and upward. The biggest problem people make is that they don't use foreground interest. Here's the lighthouse, here's the rocks. I take a picture like so, and I will also mention I am using a polarizing filter because I'm side-lit in this situation. So, polarizing filter is in place. I'm now going to do something that needs to be done by everyone who wants to enhance their close-up work. Close-up work meaning with a wide-angle lens. The one shot we just saw, not so good. Foreground interest. And when I do the foreground interest, I preset my focus at 1 meter when I'm using focal lengths from 16 to 24 on a full-frame camera. That's the key. 16 to 24 full-frame camera. I'm going to focus at 1 meter, turn autofocus off, and now use foreground interest and take a look at that photograph. Notice how the line leads the eye to the lighthouse, what we call a leading line in the composition. Texture bounds as well as on these rocks because they're side-lit. So, real simple. F22, focus at 1 meter for those of you with a full-frame camera, and focal lengths from 16 to 24. For those of you with not a full-frame camera, this will work also focusing at 1 meter if your focal length is 10 to 16. This is on those crop cameras. Now, for those of you that only have 17 or 18 as your widest angle, you will focus at 2 meters, F22, and in both cases, don't forget, turn autofocus off. So, that's how you do it. Immediate foreground brings depth and perspective. At Peggys Cove, this is Bryan Peterson saying, until next time, you keep shooting.
For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit Adorama.com. Place your order by 8 p.m. and it ships the same day. Plus, next time you're in New York City, be sure to visit our store located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue.